have opinions. I have opinions on things and trending topics and so on. And so from time to time, I might share my thoughts on some of those. The ones that stand out to me are the ones that touch me in a way. At the end of the day, it's about positive living, positive mindset, positive life, positive vibes. It's about treating yourself well, loving yourself, and being kind to yourself, facing truth, owning your truth. Because a lot of times when we talk about, oh, you should live well, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, but we don't really, but are we approaching it in a realistic, practical, healthy kind of way? Because self-love requires work, and sometimes it also requires being honest with yourself, saying, you know what, I didn't even think I was lovable. And that's it for me. For a long time, I loved me. I've always loved me. I've always known I'm loved. But deep down in my subconscious, somewhere inside of me, there was a thought that I'm not lovable. And I had to tap into that thing, and I had to own it and say, okay, I hear you, self. I hear you saying you don't feel lovable. It's okay. And then I put it out there. It's okay. There's no shame in your authenticity. There's no shame in your truth. And even if there is shame or pain, stand in it. That's how I live anyway. I stand in it. I will stand in the shame. I'll stand in the pain. I'll stand in whatever I need to stand in, because my goal for me is complete wellness. And for me to live in complete wellness, and I'm not talking about hospitals or health, I'm talking about feeling good within myself. At whatever state I'm in, I want to feel content. Like Paul in the Bible says, right? I want to be content. And in order for me to be content, I have to own my truth as it is. I cannot lie to myself. I can't pretend. I can't give myself imaginary goals to achieve. I can't give myself unrealistic goals to achieve without the willingness, or even just giving myself goals without the willingness of exploring the things that might affect me achieving those goals. And some of those things that will affect it are the deep-seated beliefs that we have about ourselves that we are unwilling to confront. I'm not afraid of confronting unpleasant thoughts I have of myself, or unrealistic beliefs, or negative beliefs that I have about myself. I will confront them because they will not live in me. So welcome to Refresh, Relax, Renew. Welcome to my podcast. I'm Coach Raquel, and I'm so happy to be here with you. It is such a joy for me to do this. It really is. And so thank you for following me, and thank you for coming along with me, on this journey. And I invite you, please, if this brings you any good vibes, please subscribe, like, and share. Okay? And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button. You don't have to say like, you can dislike it too. But please engage and leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions for me, let me know. All right? Thank you so much for being here with me. Let's begin this. Okay, so there is a topic that's been running around in the media that I'd like to just share something on. There are actually 3 of them that I would like to say something about, because my question is, are Black men crying out for help? Are they crying out for help? And perhaps because of how how we interpret their actions, we might miss that they're actually crying out for help. I don't know. I'm just saying, for me, there are 3 stories that stand out for me, and that is Dr. Umar Johnson. We have Dr. Umar Johnson. We have, I think it's Telvin, or something like that his name is, or Telbo Rakin, who, and another guy, DDG. And those 3 stories, among others, really touched me. And I didn't want to just say, okay, get upset or irritated by the story surrounding them, or the issues surrounding them. I really wanted to sit with myself and say, what is actually going on here? Because sometimes a cry for help does not look like a cry for help. Can I say that again? Sometimes a cry for help does not look like a cry for help, but it is a cry for help. And persons are saying, oh yes, Doctor. So let me tell you the thing about Dr. Umar Johnson. It says Dr. Umar response to deadbeat father claims by alleged daughter. And of course, all these stories are alleged. I was never there. I'm not in their lives. I don't know what really goes on. And when it comes to social media, it's up to you to believe what you want to believe, because I don't even believe any of it, but I'm inspired by some of it. And I also feel, and I also have, I my thoughts are stimulated or triggered by some of it. Not sure, I don't like that word trigger, but my thoughts become stimulated and I start feeling like, I have a thought on that. If that is a part, it triggers discussion for me. It triggers a conversation for me. It makes me think. You know what I mean? It really inspires me and motivates me to start thinking. So with the whole thing with Dr. UMAR Johnson, this is what I'll say. I hear people saying, oh my gosh, and he's a psychologist and he works with this and he works with that. So what if he's a psychologist? He's still human first. He is still human first. And I think sometimes I don't think people are better than others, but I think the people who sometimes try to do what they believe is the right thing, or who we in our eyes are seemingly good people, sometimes we're harder on those people because we expect them to know better. But if 80% of the time I'm doing something good, so what if 20% of the time I'm not? And so for me, I say this whole thing with Dr. Johnson and his daughter, I pray for a positive outcome for them, but I also trust the process. Give them time. So what? Personally, I would have liked for his response to have been different for the purpose of their relationship. However, he's doing the best in the moment. His immediate response is self-defense, and that's okay. That's not so abnormal as even animals, and I think we're all animals as creatures of the earth. When things happen, the first thing we do is we start defending and protecting ourselves. You know, we especially if it's something that hurts. So I totally understand his response, because this is not some regular thing that's affecting him. This is personal. This is important to him. This is a big deal. So we're seeing a natural human response out of him, where he's first in defense and whatever. I am trusting that eventually he's going to get to the place he needs to get to with his child. They're going to resolve it. And resolving it doesn't necessarily mean they come together and they're friends. Sometimes resolving it means moving on in the best interest of everyone in a different direction. Or they find a way to harmonize and come together. And so on that matter, I said, give it time. I completely understand his reaction, because he's human. He's a man. He's a regular person. So I didn't expect him to apply his intellect to this. So I think the disappointment people are experiencing is that he's not applying his intellect, because it's his heart. It is his heart that has been affected. So I understand his response. In the case of DDG, so the headline reads, rapper DDG blasts Halle, that's his child's mother, Halle Bailey, in live stream for not letting him see their child Halo. To this young man, I say, first of all, you know what, I hear you. You felt like this was the only space, this was all you had in your arsenal. This was, for you, the only resource you felt you had was to come to social media and have a conversation. And as somebody who sometimes feels like a podcast is the best place for me to really try, wade through my feelings. For me, like when I go on a microphone and I sit down and I start talking through something that's happening to me, to be honest with you, it's the best way for me, because I feel like I don't feel safe talking to somebody else. I feel like if I say to somebody, a specific person, even if it's a professional, I feel like someone has my secret. And so for me, I feel like, let me just go talk it on a podcast. It's in the public. Can't be used against me thereafter, because it's now in the public. And I feel safer that way. Maybe that's what he was experiencing. I do not know. However, what my hope is for this young man is that he connects or builds a network of really good fathers, especially Black fathers around him. And it's okay if he has other races too, because sometimes that variety of feedback, of review, of advice really, really works. So what I feel he needs to do is, now that he has, vented and expressed himself. Hopefully that helped him feel a little better. Next steps for me would be therapy, some parenting courses, and a really strong network of 3 to 6 excellent fathers around you. They have to be good fathers, people who you can feel confident when they give you feedback, people who you see with their children, because your passion is to be with your child, which is another thing that thumbs up to you with that, thumbs up to you for that. Hold a second, please. I need to do something here. So that's my sorry, one moment, please. That's my feedback for DDG, that he has expressed himself and vented, because I understand it. I totally understand it. And I cannot tell you how to heal, where to go to feel. No, I believe in healing by any means necessary. I don't care where the healing takes you. Just get to a place of content. Take the steps. Any action is a good step. Just do something. And hopefully get to something positive, something that will have a positive outcome for you. Because sometimes we have to go down into the gully to come back to the surface. It's okay. It's life. Life isn't pretty. Life isn't all flowers. Yeah? So sometimes we have to go down into the gutter to then come back up. It's okay. If coming to social media is where you feel you can let it out, then go there and let it out. And thereafter, it is my hope you'll get a network of people, of strong fathers around you, and also get some therapy. Get some therapy to really work through your feelings, and also do some parenting courses. Build on your parental skills, because parenting skills include negotiating, working with a parent you may not like, working with a parent who you might find challenging, because in life we have to navigate challenging relationships, and we have to do them and do them in such a way that you still get positive outcomes. So I just want to say that's what I would hope for him. Now, for the third person who who was in the news, his name is Telbo Ratkins Osborne. Reportedly, his partner, who was a Caucasian woman, unalived him. First of all, I want to say this. I don't think anyone deserves their life being taken from them unless God says it's time. How do I know when God says it's time? I don't know. And I don't know what method God will use when it's time. So it's not for me to criticize how a man comes into the earth or how he leaves the earth. I trust God with that. I trust the universe with that. Right? I think when we get into a relationship, we have to be very, very... There's so much you can prepare for, but there's so much you're just not prepared for. I know there's a discussions about where he said he'd rather have intimacy with an animal, a dog, before he does it with a melanated woman, and also it would have to be a white dog. You know what? Love who you love. Love who you love. I believe that if I am to believe that the Black community have gone through a lot of oppression and a lot of struggles and trials, and they're trying to now work through it, it is also telling me then that if that's what we've gone through, individually, we are work in progress, and we come with a load and a lot of we carry baggage with us. Everyone cannot handle my baggage, and I cannot expect everyone to handle my baggage. So if a melanated man says, you know what, I cannot deal with a melanated woman, I totally get it. I get it, because perhaps he sees me as someone with a lot of baggage that he don't want to confront. Perhaps I remind him of things his own mother has gone through that he doesn't want to confront. Maybe, I don't know, but he has the right to choose who he wants to be with. And whoever he chooses, all I wish him is well. So even for this family, I wish you well. It is my hope that you find healing. For me, I'm just going to trust God with it. I do believe the universe ultimately decides. And I have to trust that, because failing to trust the universe and to trust that God is in control, I might just go crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think instead of criticizing these men, hard as it might be, perhaps love is what they need. Support is what they need. I hear you. I understand. I may not agree with you. Remember, no, showing love and support is not agreement. It's not agreement. Like I said, with Dr. Umar Johnson, if we were to go to what I would have expected, or I would have liked a different response, but he could only give me his best. In the case of Telbo, I don't know about him, but I just can't date somebody who's not. Based on the history that I've learned, based on all the information I've gotten, I cannot see myself dating a white person, because I feel like I'm not going to be able to love him completely, and I don't think I would ever allow him access to me completely. That's just for me. So I'm not just saying, oh yeah, do what you do. No. So those are those feelings I have. When it comes to DDG, what do you mean she's not letting you? She's not obligated to let you do anything. It's your job to be a father. So I'm saying all of that to balance my comments. I'm not saying these men are perfect men. I'm saying in the end, after really thinking about it, what I send it to, the energy I'm sending to them is love and support and healing. Love, support, and healing. I love to open new packages. There will be the latest information on top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me and Coach Raquel, and it is a passion project for me, so I am so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.